What up, YouTube? Elleix, come back at you with another RTS cast, and happy Halloween. For those of you who missed the last video and are a little bit confused as to why you're looking at my face right now, well, in honor of Halloween, I'm doing some RTS casting dressed up as a 70s dude. In case you missed the fit last time, here it is. Check it out. Hopefully I don't flash anybody like last time. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, yeah. This is what I'm talking about. We got the fro, we got the aviators, we got the jewelry. I look like $1,000,000. Be honest. Do I look ridiculous right now? Don't answer that. Anyways, if you enjoy this kind of content, please remember to shoot me a like and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you're not subscribed, what the hell are you doing, man? Let's jump right in. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. Today we are casting a game featuring the Scouring. If you're not familiar with this game, this is a new RTS game heavily inspired by the Warcraft series. You could say it's a sort of successor to Warcraft because we all know Blizzard is not giving us a new Warcraft RTS anytime soon. With that said, let's go ahead and introduce our players. Spawning on the top left-hand side of the map, it's our red Humans player, Tails. He does appear as green on the mini-map, but that's because we're technically observing his POV. Rest assured, he is red. Going up against his opponent, spawning on the bottom right-hand side of the map, it's our purple Orcs player, Bubbas. Now, this is my second time ever casting this game, but I see a lot of potential, man. We have a MOBA mode where you control just a hero unit. We have an RTS mode. You have an RTS/MOBA mode, I'm pretty sure, and check this out. There's also creeps. So it looks like Tails decided to aggro the creeps and run up his building. Now, one thing to mention is that infantry units can basically invade or siege other buildings. So as you can see, these AI-controlled creep units, the bandits in this case, are throwing ladders on the barracks, and they're able to crawl up it, and you can take refuge in the barracks. So these archers are individual units that you can control. It's not just static defense, and you can take refuge in your own buildings and do damage from afar from the safety of a building, but you have to be careful because later on you might be susceptible to some AoE and lose all your units because they are clumped up when they're up in a building. Anyway, it looks like the worker here for Bubbas getting some good scouting information because the fort is upgraded from the town hall already. So Tails, I think, going for some early tech. And as you can see, now that the town hall is upgraded to a fort, there is a platform here that you can take refuge on. And you can later upgrade your workers to have bows and arrows to just bolster your defenses a little bit. Also looks like this creep camp was cleaned up by our Orcs player, Bubbas, as well. He's running around, both players just kind of setting themselves up. One thing I will say about this game is it starts off a little bit slower than we're used to seeing when you compare it to games like StarCraft 2. You have a lot of creep camps, like I said. There's also a day-night cycle, which does cause more creeps to spawn once night falls. I believe you can change that in the settings, though. Looks like a troll here as well, getting kited by our red Humans player. One other thing I have to mention is each unit has an individual level. So the longer they stay alive, the more they level up. So the stronger they get. So you have a lot of incentive to keep your stuff alive and play efficiently. Anyway, this troll getting aggroed onto the barracks, it will most definitely go down. And as you can see, the sun is setting and night is about to fall. It looks like there's one more bandit here for our red Humans player to clean up. Meanwhile, the Orcs player is running around. He's got warriors, and I believe that is it. We'll try and keep an eye on what other units this player might have because we are casting the Reforged edition of this game. This is a mod which I believe strives to add a little bit more diversity to the game. This is a work in progress, by the way. There's no campaign yet, but for the release of 1.0, I saw at least they plan on releasing a campaign, which would be so far out, man. Far out is a 70s term, by the way. I looked it up, just like dynamite and boss moves. So I'll try to work those in to the cast somewhere down the line. Looks like this creep camp also getting cleaned up by our Humans player. And what is this? A church? I've not seen this building. That looks really cool, actually. We'll see what unit comes out of that. We'll try and keep an eye on it. Now, yeah, it looks like there are new units or new structures already because I've not seen the church. Right now, it looks like it's just warrior. Oh, wait a minute. No, that's a berserker, which I think is a dual-wielding unit. He has 2 cleavers or something. It's hard to differentiate, though, to be fair, from the warrior, which is your basic kind of tier 1 unit. But there is finally an engagement here, a PvP engagement between both players. And what is this unit? This is the Apprentice. Oh, interesting. It looks like a spellcasting unit. He does have energy. This guy must have come from the church. I suspect he has. Anybody who's familiar with this game, because like I said, this is only my 2nd time ever casting this game, let me know if this unit came from the church and if it's specific to the Reforged mod or if this is actually a vanilla unit. Anyway, some creeps getting cleaned up here. They are skeletons. As you can see, they are spawning, I believe, because of the day-night cycle. Currently, it is nighttime. Also, in the vanilla version, this is something I noticed. You have your farms, right? And you can see there's 4 workers per farm. In the base version, you can only have 3 workers per farm. And supply is really interesting. So you don't technically get supply blocked. Instead, what happens is if you kind of overproduce on units and you don't have enough food, your units start to get debuffed. And when they get hungry, they move so slow, they're basically unusable. So that's kind of your equivalent of being supply blocked. More skeletons here on the human side of the map. Meanwhile, the Orcs player, I think he's chilling. There's 1 skeleton here attacking the Forge, and I think the Berserkers come out from the Forge, and I think Cannoneers. I don't think that's actually what they're called, but the cannon people come out from the Forge. We'll see if our players build them this game. They're really good units. They're basically siege tanks if you're familiar with StarCraft, and if you found your way to this channel, you probably are. Oh man, far out! So it looks like, I'm sorry, that hurt me to say, but it looks like the Apprentice does have some crowd control abilities here, excuse me, which really slowed down a lot of these Orc units. And looks like Bubbas deciding to run back home, and Tails going for the full-on aggression. He's not scared at all, even though he's running towards the enemy side of the map. He might have some help from these skeletons. If the skeletons don't aggro on him, it looks like the Berserkers charging in to this army. Tails getting some kiting in, also throwing that CC down from what I assume was the Apprentice. Let me know what that ability is for those of you familiar with this game, because the UI does not tell me. I can't select the unit and look at its spells. So let me know what ability that is from the Apprentice that causes that green glow and slows down units. Anyway, day has arrived, and it looks like Tails is going for a full-on attack right now. And the workers, they are upgraded to have bows and arrows. As you can see, these are not warriors. These are straight up workers. And look at the range that they have when they're posted up in a building. Tails deciding to kind of take refuge in this corner. What is this? We have 1 Berserker. He is at level 2, just chilling on the left-hand side of the map. I might run that unit over to the gold mine, or the gold veins, I guess, and try and do some worker damage. Even though I guess the workers, they could run up into the building and just straight up kill him. But hey, you know what? It's worth a shot. A lot of these Orcs going down. Oh man, this is looking like quite a situation for Bubbas. What a boss move by our humans player, our red humans player. Another 70s term, by the way. I wasn't alive in the 70s. I wasn't even close to being alive. So I'm doing my best to find terminology in my brain. I did look it up, like I said, but I already forgot it all. Anyway, another big CC here from our humans player. I do like this, though. The workers chilling up in the Bastion, which is, I think, our upgraded clan hall. And this is actually kind of containing Bubbas. Meanwhile, Bubbas doing what I suggested, deciding to go for an attack in what is, I guess, our mineral line equivalent, our gold line in this case. But ultimately, that warrior did go down. This engagement is still happening, which is hilarious to me. But it looks like Bubbas finally getting some range of his own. I think where he was struggling was the range, because he was getting kited, especially with that CC ability from the apprentice. But now we have the goblin archers on the back of this army, and a guard tower here as well, which is controlled, I think, by our Orcs players. So I think Bubbas could climb up here with the archers and prevent the Humans player from engaging as easily as he has been. What is this though? Is there a worker here? Or sorry, a warrior here in the worker line? I think there was, but I think he went down. It was hard to see. By the way, man, some people complained about the graphics, and you know what? I understand, because I am not a cartoony graphics kind of guy. I had complaints about Stormgate, but I mean, Warcraft, we know what the art style is, and this takes very clear inspiration from Warcraft, and I think the game just looks like it has so much potential. Like I said, I also think it's important to encourage new developers to create RTS, because RTS is a dying breed. So seeing a new RTS game, and especially one with this level of depth that's not coming from a AAA studio, super cool to see, man. I love to see it. Anyways, this creep camp will get cleaned up as soon as these units go down, these goblins go down. Yep, the tents will get destroyed, or despawn, I guess, technically speaking, and this will open up another expansion option for our Humans player. Both players have expanded once, and I think this is probably about as meta as it gets. The game is relatively new, so I'm sure players will find kind of more optimal ways to expand. And this is it. This is a Mordor, not a Cannoneer, but this is basically your siege equivalent for the Orcs. There is the equivalent for the Humans as well, which is literally the same unit, just has a different name. But they do have AoE, and this is the unit that I was kind of thinking about when I was talking about being susceptible to AoE. If you post up your units in something like a barracks or your main mining structure, because they do have almost, it's not Storm. I wouldn't call it like Storm from StarCraft, but it's basically just a rain of cannons, or of cannonballs. So if you keep your units clumped up and you cast that ability, or somebody else casts that ability on you, you have a lot of potential to lose your units. And it looks like Tails is actually posting up in this barracks, which will give Bubbas the opportunity to use that ability from his Mordor. We'll see if that's what he opts to do. Looks like this outpost was finally claimed by our red Humans player. Boss move, what can I say? And Bubbas actually opting to return home. I wonder if he's suspicious that his opponent is going for an attack of his own, or if he just wants to, attack the main base instead. But this outpost, I think, will spot the movement of these Orc units. Oh man, dude, this is bad. The wig, it's getting very itchy right now, but I think I'm doing a good job considering that I'm casting wearing sunglasses inside. I swear to God, I'm legally blind right now, and I can actually see pretty good, but the colors are very muted. So looking at the mini-map is kind of a struggle. Here we go. That's what I was talking about right there on the left-hand side. The AoE ability from those cannons, or the Mordors, I guess, doing quite a bit of damage on these archers. One Mordor is left. Will it get sniped? I think it will. Great move by our red Humans player, able to take it out. But there's a lot of Orc stuff here. But at the same time, there's a lot of Human stuff here as well. It looks like this is pretty much going to be archers versus archers, with the exception of the apprentices from our red Humans player. I would love to see some spellcasting units from the Orc player. I wonder if they have an apprentice. I am not sure. Either way, though, looks like Bubbas is trying his best to keep this engagement going. Both players playing pretty efficiently, I want to say, not losing too much, and there is a warrior here which is trapped by this barricade. So the barricades are cool because they do act as a sort of wall, but your own units can walk over it. Oh man, looks like this warrior will go down. He did survive for a while though, so credit where credit is due. Rest in peace, warrior. Moment of silence. Moment of silence is over. Night has fallen once again, so I think our creeps will be spawning, and indeed they are. The neutral skeletons, which really, they're not acting very neutral, are they? Attacking or aggroing on all these workers. The workers stepping out of the bastion to do more mining. Meanwhile, oh man, the farms here getting attacked by the skeletons. So what happened to me when I first played this game was I didn't know how aggressive the frickin' AI was at nighttime. And I went to attack the AI, doing my own thing. I looked back at my base, and all my workers were dead because of the skeletons. But you can use that to your advantage, because if you feel like you have enough defense back home to deal with the mobs, you can use the mobs as extra DPS against your opponent. I've seen it done, and it is so cool to see. But both players deciding to stay back home. And actually, wait a minute, our Red Humans player going for a third base of his own. But yeah, these skeletons, they're spawning all over the place, man. This peasant aggroing a lot of them, and he has no idea what he's about to run into. He thinks he's running to safety. No, he is very much not running to safety. Will he survive, though? Oh, yes, he will, at least for the time being. The warriors here, or the swordsmen in this case for the humans, able to take out those skeletons. Meanwhile, it looks like the Mordars here up in the bastion, in the safety of the bastion, to take care of the skeletons and keep the workers safe. And you know what? These orc workers, man, they have a better work ethic than I do, because they're working while literally being attacked by skeletons. Who has that kind of work ethic, man? I would have run home. I'd be like, you know what, you guys? I'm clocking out. You don't have to pay me for the day. I'm leaving, even though I'm technically salaried, so they better pay me, man. Yep, so these skeletons getting cleaned up. What is going on up here? Looks like the barracks trying to be placed, but the skeleton, I think, just briefly kind of messing up the positioning. You can also use multiple workers to build stuff. As you can see, there's multiple peasants here. Looks like 4 of them building this barracks. It should be finished very quickly. Now, taking a look at what our Orcs player is doing, is he on 3 bases? Yes, he is. There is a base on the bottom left-hand side. It looks like it's relatively safe, but these skeletons, man, are just being such a pain in the ass for Bubbas. I do like the placement on these Mordars, though. Yeah, especially with the damage that the cannons do. That is really cool to see. It takes a little bit of time for them to connect, but, I mean, looks like 2 cannons is plenty to deal with those skeletons. And what is this? A Ripper. He's basically like a Hulk or a Brute with Wolverine claws. I've not seen this unit before. I assume he comes from the Forge, but we shall see. Looks like an engagement here, though. Tails trying to do some damage to what appears to be base number 3, but base number 3, the Clan Hall, will be finished up shortly, and here it is. It is finished, and you know what? I didn't realize this. So you can actually climb up into a non-upgraded main mining structure. Oh, man. Looks like the swordsmen with their shields. This will really help them deal with ranged damage, but a lot of orc stuff here as well. I think the human stuff will get cleaned up. Looks like there is an apprentice going down. The swordsman going down as well. There is a lot of stuff for Bubbas that has to be said. Only 2 Mordars, but this is so much infantry. Taking a look, yep, here it is, the cannon. It's not even called the cannoneer. This is the cannon for our humans player posting up in the barracks. I like that, and right on time, actually, because this is a very scary army for our Orcs player. Some could say it's dynamite, another 70s term for you. And here we go. It's just all-out chaos right now. Where are the Rippers, though? Here they are on the left-hand side of this engagement. I assume that they're a melee-only unit. How much health do they have? 410 HP for a level 3 Ripper. That's not that bad. Taking a look at the Warrior, a level 1 Warrior has 160 HP. The Warrior is our Orc infantry unit, our tier 1 unit. And I don't know who's going to come out ahead. I think it looks like the Orcs player will come out ahead. Tails forced to retreat. This base will be vulnerable. Now, the question is, will Bubbas decide to attack this base or take advantage of the opportunity to attack the main base? Because he did take out most of the army for the red player. So the longer he lets Tails sit, the longer Tails has to reinforce. So I think I like what Bubbas is doing. Instead of going for this base, which isn't mining, there's no reason to attack that base for the time being. Go for the main base. If you think you're ahead, definitely go for the counterattack. That is something that I think should be said for all RTS. If you have an army that destroyed your opponent's army and your army is still alive, just go to the main base, man. As we can see, it's doing Bubbas pretty well. Looks like the peasants are forced to run. Actually, you know what? They're just running around the chaos to do some lumbering. They're just cutting down trees, man. A lot of human units here, though. So even though I said Bubbas should counterattack, you should also keep in mind that you don't want to overextend and lose your own army. But it looks like there are plenty of Orc units here left. The Mordors have gone down, and it looks like Tails going for a counterattack amidst all this chaos. So, yep, it's just infantry units chilling on top of the Bastion in this case. And I think the Humans player will come out ahead. Meanwhile, back at the main base for our Humans player, it looks like Tails able to clean up a lot of the Orc stuff, but the reinforcements for Bubbas coming into the main base for the Humans player. And, oh, yep, these human infantry units attacking the workers, but the workers going up into the Bastion, picking up some bows and arrows, and I think this will actually save this base. Meanwhile, the base back home for our red player will ultimately survive, but at what cost? I'm not so sure. We don't have any resources lost tab or anything like that, but look at the bodies. There's so many bodies, dear God. Oh, man. I love this, though. We have a mix-in of some higher-tier units. We have the Cavaliers, the Rippers, as we saw, and, of course, the Swordsmen with their shields. Super cool-looking, man. This game, like I said, I see so much potential as the meta develops, as the developers add more units. I see so much that this game has to offer. I'm also really curious to see what the campaign will be like, and also if it's going to be voice acted. I feel like it must be voice acted in today's day and age. I mean, RTS, you know, was voice acted pretty commonly. At least the Blizzard RTSs were. You know, StarCraft 1 was even voice acted, and that game came out in the 90s. Really good campaign, though. I mean, StarCraft, especially StarCraft 1 and Brood War, were known for their campaigns. Looks like an engagement here, though, on the right-hand side for our Orcs player. A lot of humans here. The workers going up into, what is this, the barracks. And here it is, the cannons for our Humans player. Could throw down some AoE damage on top of the barracks if they need to. The Muncher here as well, which I guess might be a Ripper equivalent for the Orcs. They're melee only unit, and they're basically ogres is what they are, like, but ogre cyclopses. They only have one eye. Really funny unit design, honestly. I like it a lot. Oh, man, but this looks like it's going to favor the Humans, I think. A lot of the Orc stuff has gone down. It looks like Bubbas throwing out the GG, giving the victory to Tails. What a dynamite RTS matchup. I'm loving what I'm seeing so far out of this game. Big shout out to my members and patrons. I really appreciate the extra layer of support. If you guys enjoyed what you saw, please consider shooting me a like and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it, and I'll see you guys on the next one.